Hello everyone, Be Humbled here, and welcome back to our Crown Tundra playthrough. In today's episode, we're going to be going over where all the Regis are in the game. So, if you're enjoying the content, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and just let me know if you're enjoying the content. So, first off, we're going to be going for Registeel, Regirock, and Regice. So the first Regi is actually pretty close to Freezington. Registeel is in the giant's bed here. You'll see on the map where the red pointer is, there's kind of like a little indent in the map or the border here. So that's where Registeel's temple or den is. So I'm right outside the base here. And then if you go south from Freezington, make sure you go out the exit to the right like I just did, and then just go down the frosty path here until you get to the green lush scenery over here. And as soon as you get into the area, you'll find Regirock's temple. And if you haven't started any of this like I have, you'll get into this little cutscene. Oi, it's me, Peony. How are things, Chief? What's that? You found someplace ruiny looking? That's gotta be one of those places, you know, where the legendary giants are supposed to be. You see the door with the mysterious writing on it? I hear no one's been able to get it open. If that's all true, I think I call this particular adventure. Oh no. Terrible Titans lurking locked away. Wow, that is a title and a half. Ah, well, that's grab you? Right then, Chief, I eagerly leave the rest of this research in your hands. Talk to you later. Thank you, Peony. Thank you for that. So, usually outside all the temples here, there are TRs. I was about to say TM. But Registeel's entrance, or the way to get into the door, is pretty simple. So let the ring-piercing note that will make the steel giant of steel. So all you have to do is just push down on the right or the left stick on your controller and whistle. And it is simple as that. So once you get into these temples, you'll see that there are symbols on the ground, or little kind of circles. Those match up to the Regi's kind of face dot pattern, so all you gotta do is step over all these bad boys. Try not to miss them, like I keep doing. There we go. And it activates the stone statues. So it'll say something changed in the air. I'm just gonna quickly save here. But all the Regis in this game are actually not shiny locked, so you can shiny hunt the 3 original, the 3 Hoenn trio, the 2 new ones, plus Regigigas. If you are interested in doing the Regis here, like the 3 Hoenn trio, what you can do is that once you go into the battle, you see it's not shiny like it is in here. All you have to do is just run. The encounter method of kind of like chaining and see if you get further shiny odds doesn't work for the legendary Pokemon here, so you'll see once you exit the battle, the statue is dormant again. To activate it once more, you just gotta step on the dots here. And that reactivates the battle. Another way you can do it is if you really wanted to, or if you have a turbo controller, you can set the turbo controller so that way you can just exit out, like save, exit out, go back into the game, do it that way. But if you don't have one like I do, this method is totally fine. So when you go back to the statue here, you'll see that it's reactivated and it's a whole new spawn, so just gotta keep checking it. Again, that's if you're interested in shiny hunting it, but for now we're going to continue on and go to the next Regi. Alright guys, so the next Regi we're going to go after is Regirock. Regirock is also in the Giant's Bed area, but it's much more south. It's this little indent over here, and the best way to kind of get there if you don't have it on your map already is, I would say, to go to Slippery Slope. So once you get to Slippery Slope, you just go down south and go through the Giant's Bed to get there. So you just want to go past everything until you find a little slope that goes down into the valley over here. So kind of go down this little switchback of a mountain they have. Get past a giant Snorlax. Ooh, didn't know there was Jolteon over here. But anyway, after you get past all that, and right before you hit the river that would take you to the giant tree, there's this little outcropping over here. Ooh, Nidoking. So here we have the Regirock Temple. So once we go up here, the way to open the door here is you need a Everstone. If you don't know what an Everstone is, an Everstone basically, if it's held by a Pokemon, will not let the Pokemon evolve even if it's leveling up and stuff. So if for some reason you haven't gotten an Everstone through your playthrough yet, the best method to getting an Everstone is through catching Roggenrola, Boldore, or Gigalith. Any of those Pokemon within that evolution line have a 50% chance of holding an Everstone once you encounter them and catch them. So I highly recommend to go get those Pokemon. But yeah, once you look at the door, let the first Pokemon hold a never-changing stone, aka the Everstone. So my Dragapult already had an Everstone held, so hopefully the information helps if you don't have one. But once inside here, again, it's the same thing as the other temple. Oh my gosh. If I can actually walk on things straight and not look like I'm drunk or something. Great. Come on. There we go. So something changed in the air. And again, you enter the battle same way you did for the previous Regi. And ba-bam, we have Regirock, who I think honestly Regirock has the best shiny out of the three Hoenn trio. That's just my opinion, and if I ever did shiny hunt the Regis, I'd probably go after Regirock. But anyway guys, that's Regirock in a nutshell. Let's move on to the next Regi. Alright guys, so the next Regi we're going to go after is Regice. So for Regice, what we want to do is go to Slippery, what is it called? Snowslide Slope. There we go. So fly up there and just head north of the Watt Trader. So when you get to the place where the ice carrot fields are, kind of over here, you'll see the two ruined buildings. And then behind this one to the left, there is a trail that leads down this snowy path. So you can usually find a lot of like Metagross and Metangline over here. But if we go through the arch, we'll get to the next temple. So Regice is very interesting. So walk together with a living crystal of snow. So that means you need a Pokemon called Cryogonal. And I'll switch that into my party, and Cryogonal needs to be the first Pokemon in your slot. So I have one here. So Cryogonal is exclusive to the Crown Tundra. You can usually find it like everywhere if it's snowing or snowstorm weather about. Those are the best weathers to find it in. You can also find it in Max Raid battles and Dynamax Adventure battles, of course, but probably the easiest is to get it during the weather. So once you have Cryogonal as the first Pokemon in your party, just go back to the door here, and wha-bam! Open door. So very similar to the other temples, just gotta go, if I can do this correctly. Oh my goodness, I cannot walk in a straight line. But again, once you do, oh my goodness. Once you do all the markings on the ground, the statue lights up. And just like all the other Regis, you go over and talk to it. And that will begin the battle with Regice. And there's our boy Regice. Unfortunately, it's the most underwhelming of the three shinies of the trio, in my opinion. But anyway, guys, that is how to find all the Hoenn, the trio, the original trio Regis. We'll go into finding Regieleki and Regidrago next. Alright guys, now on to getting Regieleki or Regidrago. You can only catch one or the other, and you need all three of the Regis from the Crown Tundra in order to get. So Regirock, Regice, and Registeel. Make sure you have all of them in your party, preferably the first three in your party. So where we're gonna go is, we're gonna go all the way to the Frigid Sea. As you can see here, what we want to do is get the 3-point pass, which is the most southern point of the Frigid Sea area. So the best way to really go there is to go back to Regirock's temple in the Giant's Bed, and just bicycle our way back up there. Do a little sightseeing, you know. Ooh, it's dusk now. Dusk is probably my favorite time of the day in this game. It's just so pretty. Like, look at those pinks and purples. Ugh, so nice. But anyway, we're gonna try to dip and dive past all these Pokemon here. All the random giant elephants that just suddenly appear. You know how it is. But once we get to this area here, we're gonna go through the cave. So just get on the bike and go through the Roaring Seas cave. And I believe there are 2 exits to this cave. It doesn't matter which way you go really, but I prefer to go to the one on the right here. So if you kind of just go through this area, quickly go down straight here, and then make a right, it will bring you out to the opening that's kind of closest to where we need to get to. So just a little tip from me. It doesn't really matter, but if you don't have the point on your map yet, this is probably the most efficient way. So we just make our way to the right over here, and we are an officially 3-point pass. Ooh, it's got some nice mist and a Dragapult over there. And then on each side of the doors here, I think there's, yep, you get the TR for Thunder. And then the TR for Outrage, which is, you know, symbolizing Electric and Dragon. So once you have the 3 Regis in your party, just go to the door and voila. You have your opening. And it's hard to tell, but you're gonna have to memorize, can't really see them, you're gonna have to memorize the patterns that were on top of the building here. So, because of course you're gonna need those for setting Regieleki or Regidrago. Something else too, I want to note that if you haven't finished the main game, or haven't gotten at least the first 7 badges, you can't do this point yet. You need at least the first 7 badges of the game to come and open this temple. So just a heads up for anyone who hasn't done it yet. There we go. So kind of like a Y shape, and then more of like a elongated X shape on the left. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the temple here. I'm gonna save, and then I'm gonna show both methods to what you need for the Regis. So, well, since we stepped on this one, we'll do this one first. But you can see there's more circles to each of the patterns than there would normally be. That's because it's combining the 2 patterns basically. But for Regidrago, you basically want to do this Y-shaped pattern. If I remember how the pattern goes, apparently. So I'm an idiot, and I forgot that the 1 dot there is not supposed to be highlighted. That's what the problem was. But anyway, so this is the pattern for Regidrago, so it's again more that elongated Y pattern. So when you talk to it, it says a draconic power is emanating from this Pokemon statue. Would you like to check it out? Hell yeah. Looks like once you check this, you won't be able to reset the switches on the floor. Are you sure you want to set the switches in the dragon pattern? So this is where you have to decide if you don't want Regidrago and you want Regieleki. You gotta say no. But once you press this and then save the game, you can no longer change this pattern. So hopefully by now you know which pattern you want to do. If not, maybe take some time to decide, but yeah, this is Regidrago. Ooh. Bet you never heard their cries. That's very interesting. But yeah, so this is Regidrago, and then I'll cut back to showing what Regieleki is. Alright, now for Regieleki. So Regieleki was kind of more of the elongated X shape here, so you just need to do the 3 across and then the 2 diagonal dots. Ooh, and you can actually hear like the electric hum. That's so cool. So, and then once you of course use a statue, you check it out. Yes, I want any electric pattern. And well bam, we got Regieleki. Regieleki is actually the Pokemon I'm going to be choosing between the two, just because competitively it seems to be the best Pokemon right now. But we will be shiny hunting Regieleki at some point, so won't catch it for now, but something to look forward to in the future. But with that, guys, those are the 5 Regis. Alright guys, and one last tidbit here is on Regigigas. Yes, Regigigas is in the game. It's not registerable to your Pokedex, but it is obtainable within the current Tundra. In order to do that, you need all the Regis though, including both Regieleki and Regidrago. So you're gonna need a close friend or someone to trade you the other Regi that you did not obtain in your game in order to complete it. So because of that, I can't necessarily show it, but I want to show the location of where Regigigas is. So we're at the bottom of Snowslide Slope here, so you can see we're next to the Watt Trader. And in order to find the den where Regigigas sleeps, you just need to go down here, and just below Snowslide Slope there's a den, an inactive den of 4 rocks. Once you have all the Regis in your party, if you interact with this, you'll be able to go into the den and do it's technically a standard encounter, but it's also a max raid battle with Regigigas. The battle is a little tough because he is level 100, so you have one of the strongest Pokemon at level 100 that you have to battle on your own. You're not allowed to invite any other people to the raid to help you out. So something I would recommend is if you completed all the storyline of Isle of Armor, you have your Urshifu with you, just have a level 100 Urshifu and you should be able to do a lot of damage and a couple hits to it with fighting type moves. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue if you kind of do that method, but overall it is a very strong Pokemon, so the Regis might not be enough by themselves there. But anyway guys, that is everything for the Regis within the Crown Tundra and how to find them. So again, if you're enjoying the content, leave a like, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button. But anyway guys, I'll see you the next time. Remember to stay kind and be humbled.